What is going on, Halo fans? Luke the Notable here. We are in Machinima mode, and that means that I can control my Spartan from third person. This is not theater, and I can put my weapon down. So shout out to Green Skull for showing me how to do this. But what we're going to be showing you today is how to progress your strafe. I've made lots of videos on strafing. Now, this is what strafing looks like. It's just a back and forth motion. Very easy to do. Very, very easy to do. But a lot of people, I tell you in videos, well, you need to make sure to strafe. You need to strafe. But I've never really shown how to progress that knowledge of strafing. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you start doing this strafe is just go with a long strafe. Just a very basic long strafe. You probably won't get too many, strafes in before you end up either dying or getting killed or end up killing the enemy. But this is just to build that original muscle memory in your left thumb, or right thumb if you play with inverted sticks because you're weird. But this is basically just going to teach your thumb to move in this direction. Once you get that down, it should probably take around a week or two before this finally gets into your muscle memory, before you start kind of doing this without even thinking. But for the first couple games, the first few days you start doing this, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, guys. You're going to have your gun up, you're going to be shooting a lot, and you got to just keep doing it. One thing I do recommend is going into theater and watching your gameplay. Make sure that you are strafing. If you're not, maybe slap yourself or maybe do something that causes you a little bit of pain, because you got to keep strafing if you want to get good at this game. You got to keep it up. It's not something that you can just turn on and off. It's something that you have to keep doing. If I stop strafing for whatever reason, I normally don't, but if I play a couple games and maybe I'm lazy, I kind of have to rebuild that strafe skill up again. I have to rebuild that muscle memory, and that's what we're doing with this first initial long strafe. Now, of course, that long strafe isn't going to allow you to get too many kills. You see my visor's kind of cracked there. It's because I've been long strafing too much. See, the long strafe is good in lower level, but the long strafe won't help you in higher level. Now, I don't suggest a incredibly fast strafe all the time. In my first strafing video, I said, well, you want to do a fast strafe all the time, and that is actually not correct, which is why I took that video down. A fast strafe can be good. It's kind of called the SK strafe. It's kind of a strafe like this. It can, mess people up sometimes, but not every single time, especially if you're playing higher level players. So a strafe like this is probably going to get you killed more often than not, because if I'm a higher level player, I'm going to realize that you're doing a fast strafe, and it might affect me out maybe once or twice, but after a couple times, maybe once or twice, I'm going to know that you're a fast strafer. So what I do personally is I kind of do a medium strafe. I'm just kind of doing the strafe that I'm just letting my muscle memory go. I'm just doing my normal strafe, and it's kind of a quick back and forth. Halo 5 time to kill is pretty fast, so I only maybe get 2 or 3 of these before I then go into a crouch or I go into a jump. And that's kind of what you want to start doing, is you want to maybe get a little bit faster on your strafe, start getting used to that, and then maybe go into a crouch, a long crouch, or maybe just a quick crouch, so crouch one way and then come back up, crouch a couple times. It's you don't want to get it too crazy, because you're just going to fake yourself out, but start doing small little things. A crouch here, a little crouch there, jump here and there. And speaking about jumping, guys, speaking about jumping, guys, I'm gonna get real close to the camera for you. I'm gonna hit start. I'm gonna show you. If you are not playing claw, please be on either hell jumper or bumper jumper. It is going to allow you to jump so much easier in this game, because it allows you to jump with your left bumper, which means you can aim your weapon and you can also jump, which helps a lot in gunfights. I've done a Spartan school on people that don't look like they have been using this. It's something that people have been doing since Halo 3 when bumpers were first introduced. And if you don't play claw, play on one of those other 2 controller layouts. You need to be on one of those 2. Being able to jump and shoot is paramount to your success. Shooting and jumping do not go hand in hand if you're not playing on bumper jumper or hell jumper. I can shoot and jump because I have bumper jumper. Well, I have hell jumper, but you need one of those 2. It's going to allow you to dodge more bullets and also be accurate on the sticks. So the last thing that you might want to start doing is start to kind of do some really advanced stuff. Throw in multiple crouches or a fast crouch, jump one way and thrust the other. That happens to actually be one of my favorite things, is this real quick jump one way and thrust the other. You know, a lot of this, you know, really quick stuff, maybe even throw in the little SK. I like to every now and then, maybe halfway through the game, throw in an SK strafe. It can fake people out. But the biggest thing that you want to do in late game, it doesn't matter, or not late game, sorry, when you start to develop your strafe, when you start to feel like a strafing god, is you want to change your strafe up throughout the game that you're playing. Earlier I said that the reason you don't want to use an SK strafe for the entire game is because people will realize how that strafe works and they'll be able to kill you easier. But if you change up your strafe, if you SK sometimes, if you do a long strafe sometimes, if you do like a crouch strafe or you jump one way and thrust the other, if you do all of these things at certain different times in the game, you're going to fake out the enemy a lot more. It's one of the main tips that I never gave actually. It's one of the main things that I did when I was grinding for Champ Free-for-All is halfway through the game, what I would start, I almost fell off there. I've never used this machinima mode, but halfway through the game, I would go from maybe my medium strafe with a crouch to going to my medium strafe with a jump and a thrust, or maybe I'd do a long crouch strafe where I'd maybe, you know, start shooting, strafe a couple times, and then finish up the rest of my kill like this. You know, people, especially in higher levels and even in lower levels will, oh, look at that, game's over. But they will figure out how your strafe works, and that is one of the easiest ways to combat that. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this cleared up anybody in the comment section that have been asking me about, you know, how to get into strafing. I think this video is going to be really helpful for a lot of you trying to get that strafe going. Instead of me just saying, this is how you strafe. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed. Share this with a Halo friend. Get them better at the game. Get yourself better at the game. Let everyone that plays Halo be the best if they watch my channel. Thank you all for watching. Stay notable, and I will see you in the next video.